So a few days ago, we had to do a tour for my son's new school. So we were just like, looking and stuff. But something that had shocked me, um, it didn't really shock me, but I was just like, it was a cultural shock to me, because I did all my education in the U.S. and I haven't seen something like this before. That was like in your face. So when we entered the school, right? Well, we entered the reception area, and then you know, almost like the lobby, like reception lobby, right? And it is history about like England, about the whole UK, as well as Parliament, stuff like that. Then there was this like storyline. There was also King Charles, the monarchy, all that stuff. But then while we were just like looking and admiring the history there, one corner that was like made me like, oh wow, like was the corner, the section about slavery and colonization. It was just there, like the picture, they didn't sugarcoat anything. Like the pictures were there. There were people that had the shackles on, like like brown black people. There were, it wasn't graphic, but it was, they didn't sugarcoat it. It did happen, yeah. I'm saying this was a culture shock for me because, growing up in the US, like when we go to school, whenever it comes to like slavery or colonization, I feel like it was kind of sugar coated. And also they don't focus too much on it. It was almost like that was on a pass, right? You will never see something like this in a school in the US, especially right now. Like you will not see that. So that was the first time that I've seen something this like in your face, which made me like, wow, like they're actually like telling the kids exactly what happened. They're not trying to erase their history. They're trying to basically teach the kids the history of the UK, the history of the world. Even though it looked harsh, even though you may feel some type of way about it, but it did happen, and they're trying to make sure that everybody at a young age, they know exactly what did happen and not to erase history, which it took me back. Like I never experienced something like this before. Like me and my wife just looked at each other like, wow, like, because at first I was like, wait, can it do that? Can it actually put that out there? And mind you, this is the what, elementary, so like what, elementary school, so like third year, year 3 to like year 7, I think. But yeah, even when we met the head teacher, she was like, when she welcomed us, she was like, okay, for example, this is project room, and this is the history, blah blah blah. And she was telling us like, and she showed us like the map and everything. She said we focus on history, and there's kids that do projects on what happened in the past and what's going on in the future. I mean, what will happen in the future and what's going on right now. And her message was very profound, was very like, I don't know. It was just a very weird, interesting um, interaction that I had, experience. Because, like I said, like I'm not used to this. I've never seen this, something like this, especially at a school, like a young kid's school. But yeah, so I was like, wow. Even to this day, when I think about it, I even told my friend a few days back, and I was like, literally, they have it, like they have like a huge painting that talks about the history, and they actually then cover it up, then sugarcoat like what happened in the past. um it was beautiful. Like even though it's a sad past, but it was beautiful to see that they were not trying to hide. And it's such a huge sign. It's a sign of respect. And I definitely give kudos to the education school system here in England, the whole UK. Well, I'm not sure if this is the same I'm pretty sure they follow the same curriculum, the same rules they have to follow, like policy and stuff like that. But if this is something that they do all across the UK, I think that's a really, really dope thing to do. But anyways, I just want to share you guys because that was such a weird, not weird, but like such a shocking things that I saw here. But anyways,